Well, it's the ninth week of the spring split here, the final week before we get into playoffs. I'm joined right now by Pobelter, who has beat a strangely organized CLG with an afternoon 80 carry. First off, when did you guys find out about the change?
I just learned pretty much like 40 minutes before our match because you don't have to declare it until about an hour beforehand. We knew a little bit earlier that Stixay wasn't playing because he was in a hospital bed. So we thought they were going to bring in their AD sub from the CLG Black team, Zagonox, but they ended up bringing in um, just like a player who I've seen in solo queue and isn't part of their challenger team. So that was pretty unexpected. I'm not sure why they chose to do that instead of bringing in their AD sub because Afro had to switch to AD, and then this guy doesn't have competitive experience. But
Right.
in the end, it turned out to favor us. So I'm happy with it, especially because every win counts because we want to get to playoffs.
Did you guys even, because you only had 40 minutes, did you try to do anything to prepare for the change? Or was it pretty much like, oh, business as usual?
Yeah, there wasn't really too much we could do to prepare for it. His previous name used to be The Air Is Dry, I think, and then I kind of recognized that as a Janna player, a
Yeah.
Janna player in high elo solo queues. So we're like, maybe he's gonna bust out Janna, but besides that, there wasn't really much prep we could do.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about Immortals. Hmm, not having the same success you saw last split. We've talked about this a lot. But, how do you feel about kind of where you guys are ending up this weekend?
We're still kind of up and down. Sometimes we'll do really well, sometimes we won't do really well. So our goal has just trying to been to find that consistency and then hopefully always be at that high and less at that low.
Right.
But yeah, right now we have one match left against Dig next week, and if we win that, we'll make it into playoffs for
You mean
sure.
tomorrow?
Did I say next week?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
If you think it's next week, you should start prepping right now because you do not have that much time.
well, Sunday could be the start of the week for some people.
Okay, sure.
Anyways, yeah, if we beat Dig, we're guaranteed to get into playoffs. If we lose to them, and if FlyQuest also loses their match tomorrow, then we'll still get into playoffs. Ideally, that's not how we want to do it, but
Right.
yeah, I think if we make it into playoffs, I think we have a good shot of going far.
Is this the different route that you guys are trying? Like last year, you guys did super, super well both splits, couldn't succeed in playoffs. So maybe by tanking in the split and barely making it into playoffs, you're actually going to be able to win this time.
Yeah, I was joking about that with my teammates because last year, spring split, we were first seed heading into playoffs, and then we got defeated by TSM, the sixth seed. They had never beat us in the regular season. So I'm saying that this year it's going to be the reverse. We're going to come in as the sixth seed and quash TSM,
Yeah.
who are the first seed, hopefully.
Did you see TL took the first game off them?
Yeah, I was playing at the time, so I didn't get to watch
Right.
it. But TSM has kind of been doing that thing, though, where they just lose the first game recently.
Okay. Yeah, well, they're on the third game, and I haven't been able to see it because I'm interviewing you. A very important person. Now, let's talk a little bit about the rest of the league. Has there been anything now that we've gone through the whole split that has surprised you about the way this has gone?
Um, you mean just like
Yeah,
overall?
any of the placings or standings?
I guess I was really surprised at how well P1's doing. I think P1's probably the strongest team in the league right now, maybe similar to TSM. So I wasn't expecting that, but Ryu and Arrow are just super, super good, and Zig stepped up a lot. And Stunt, who's just a rookie coming into LCS, has also been playing like really consistently. So they're a really strong team right now, and that wasn't what I had anticipated.
Let's pretend we're doing this interview tomorrow and you've already qualified for the playoffs. What team are you most afraid of?
Probably P1 or TSM because, like I said, they're
I know, but I wanted you to pick one of them. That's why I said the team, because it's interesting because you say P1 is probably the strongest, but then you add like the qualifier of maybe TSM. So I'm curious between the two of them.
It's hard to say because teams changed a lot when it comes to playoffs. Teams that weren't so good in the regular season with that, because everyone kind of adapts to the same meta during playoffs. It's a bit similar to what happens during Worlds. At the start, you'll see a bunch of strange picks or like different strategies, but then by the end of playoffs or by the end of Worlds, which is like a multi-week ordeal,
Yeah.
and then the thing is with playoffs is you're scrimming teams that are scrimming the teams that you're going to play, so everyone just kind of comes together, starts to play similarly. So it's whoever can find that optimal play style and perfect it that traditionally does the best. So that's why in NA it's usually like TSM and C9. Wow, they're so good because they're great at adapting to that one style over the course of weeks. Same thing at Worlds. SKT. Wow, they're so good. It's because they always are able to adapt to that one style.
Finally, you, I know, were very dissatisfied with your own play at the start of the split, took a break from social media for a while, et cetera, et cetera. How are you feeling about yourself now?
Yeah, I was really emo earlier in the split because I was doing really badly. I kind of had an identity crisis, honestly, because I was always a really consistent player in LCS, and then I was just like hard feeding a lot of games, making really bad
Yeah.
mistakes. And I think part of that was that this split I wanted to like my I feel like as a player I've kind of just been I haven't been like a carry, you know?
Yeah.
Like I do my job and I'm stable, and so that's a good
This
quality, but
this reminds me of the video that you posted of you looking at the Bjergsen incarnation, who's the better mid laner, and just stroking and being sad.
yeah, and I realized that when your teammates are um, just like really doing better than they should, then that's all you need to do to win the game. You know, you just go even with the other guy, you don't make many mistakes, but also, um, you know, you're just not going to have a huge impact in the game if you just play the way that I had been playing for so long. So after losing in playoffs last year, um, I kind of realized that I had to make a change in the way I played. I had to play a lot more aggressively, be more greedy, because how I had been was I was just really selfless. If I could press an advantage, I didn't want to call my teammates and then mess things up, like mess up the flow of the game. I wanted to give all my teammates the resources so that they could succeed. And then even if they were pressuring me a little bit, I knew that I could handle it. But that's how you're supposed to play sometimes, but not all the time. And so in the beginning, I was kind of trying to play more greedy, and then it ended up just being reckless a lot of the time. And then now I think I've started to find that balance a lot more, and so I'm able to be aggressive without dying like 10 times a game.
Okay, so I think Ephraim is waiting for me to do an interview, so I need to wrap this up. But really quickly, what do you think of Viktor coming back? Because I know that he's kind of like your guy.
Is Viktor coming back?
That's what I'm hearing.
Uh,
Reports are surfacing that Viktor's coming back.
Froggen's been playing it a lot within NA, and he's kind of started other people to play it. I think Victor's always been really strong in lane, so he's like a champ that's really good for providing a stable early game. So yeah, I mean that's why Victor was one of my signature early champs. You just upgrade your item, you clear out the wave, and then there's not much danger.
Yeah.
In terms of whether he's a good champion or not, I think he's okay. I don't think it feels like he's kind of slow overall, like compared to other mid laners like Jace that are really strong right now. Everyone's playing Ari too, but yeah, I mean it doesn't have that many good matchups right now either.
Okay.
Like Orion is really popular right now, and Ori just
So
is
you don't
really strong.
believe?
Yeah. I mean, Victor, it's playable, but I don't think it's the best. I think Froggen's just really comfortable on Victor, and he's had really good performances on Victor, so that's why he's playing it. And other people are probably getting dumped on by him, and they're like, "Wow, I have to play Victor. It's so good."
Anything you want to say to any of the fans?
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching this interview. Hopefully, we can make it to playoffs, and yeah, see you guys in playoffs.
Thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports here at Yahoo Esports.